This is Teachable Moments with April podcast, and you guessed it, I'm your host, April. If you're a returning listener and a part of the Teachable Moments with April podcast family, welcome back. For those who are checking me out for the first time, well, hello and welcome. To everyone listening, look for the teachable moments that are all around us. Enjoy and be encouraged. This is your host, April. So in this particular episode, we're going to open with an actual scripture. It's Isaiah 57:4. Whom are you mocking? Against whom do you open your mouth wide and stick out your tongue? Are you not children of transgression, the offspring of deceit? Alright, so before I get into what the Bible says about this particular thing sticking out of the tongue, even though I read the scripture first, I want to look at something which you would consider from pop culture. It's from Raymond, Landia.com, and it says exploring the trend of tongue out photo poses. Now, I've seen it everywhere. People taking selfies, certain celebrities, rappers, mostly women. I've seen men do it, but mostly women sticking out their tongue. The first person that comes to mind, even though some people talk a lot about Miley Cyrus, I think of Meg Thee Stallion. She does that a lot in her the songs and in videos that I've seen her in. And it just seemed like it took off. From there, you're seeing quite a few people doing it. So it says on here, sticking out your tongue for a picture has become a popular pose for social media users. And now there's even a song about it, they say. It's called the Picture Song, and has taken the internet by storm with its catchy tune and playful lyrics encouraging people to let loose and have fun in front of the camera. But what is the origin of this trend, and why do people find it so appealing? Now it says, in this particular article, we'll explore the history of sticking out your tongue in photographs and examine the cultural significance of this very light-hearted gesture. So I want you guys to remember that, light-hearted gesture. Whether you're a seasoned selfie taker or just curious about the phenomena itself, read on to learn more about the picture song and the playful pose it celebrates. So the feeling right away is that this is just something, just kind of, as some people said, as I was researching, cheeky, kind of rebellious, playful, quirky, something to do. When I think of it also, for my own generation, it's something that you did to be mischievous as a child, stick your tongue out, teasingly, and so forth and so on. So I know a lot of people, as I continue with this, they may think, they may think that you being too serious about it, because it's meant to be allegedly very light-hearted. Okay, but stay with me. So it says the origins of the tongue out trend in photos. Sticking out your tongue in photos has become a popular trend, especially among younger generations. While some may see it as a silly, just what I said, or playful gesture, it actually has a long story, a long history, and cultural significance in different parts of the world. Now that's what's kind of interesting to me. It says in some cultures, sticking out your tongue is a sign of respect or greeting. Okay, that's positive, right? In Tibet, for example, it is a traditional way to show that you are not hiding anything. Oh, okay. And that you come in peace. Actually, I was watching a movie, and I think the individual said something. It was actually a movie on Tubi, and I want to say it was called Panama, now that I'm thinking about it, and didn't even realize it. And the individual said to Cole Hauser, stick out your tongue. And he says, no. And the guy kept saying it to him, and he, very firm, no. And he said something about him hiding something. the fact that you won't do it shows that you're not something about you're hiding something. And this is so ironic because when I watched the movie, I wasn't even thinking anything about this, but he did say that, and I thought that that was kind of an interesting request, that someone would ask you to stick out your tongue. And I think he was a little freaked out that another man was asking him that, and he was like, no. He kept saying it thinking that his authority and his stance was going to make him, he didn't blink. He didn't know, I'm not doing it. And then he just went on with their business of what, this whole storyline of the movie. But anyway, it says, in Tibet, for example, it is a traditional way to show that you're not hiding anything and you come in peace. That's interesting. They definitely were not from there. They were from the actual country, Panama. So in Moray culture, okay, they say the tongue protrusion is part of something that's part of their traditional war dance used to intimidate opponents. Now, I don't know a lot about their culture, but I have seen some performances of what I assume would be the war dance. I actually saw The Rock doing something a while back, and he had on the traditional gear. There were other, obviously, people performing with him, but they did the thing with the tongue. He did too. Now it says the trend also has roots in the music industry. And of course, they're going to mention Miley Cyrus sticking out her tongue during a performance of Wrecking Ball, okay, when it first came out. And of course, everyone would know about the Rolling Stones, okay, their famous Rolling Stone logo featuring a protruding tongue, okay, and that's very iconic. That's iconic. It's on t-shirts, it's on I Remember from my generation, the album. Okay, I know that people refer to it as vinyl now, but I'm from the era where they called them records. So yeah, the Rolling Stone. It says overall, whether it's a sign of rebellion, a way to have fun, or a nod to cultural traditions, sticking out your tongue in photos has become a trend that shows no signs of slowing down. So that's very interesting. How do things catch on like they do? Okay, going back to the origins, we find ourselves doing things, okay, and then everyone's doing it. Does everybody really know why they're doing it and what's really behind it? It says the psychology behind sticking out your tongue for the camera, because everybody's filming, everyone's looking. Very interesting. It says when you pose for a picture and someone says, say cheese, it's almost instinctual to flash a smile. But have you ever noticed how often people stick out their tongue instead? This playful, keep saying that playful gesture has become a popular pose for selfies and group photos alike. But do you know why? The first one they suggest is it's all about expression. One theory is that sticking out your tongue is a way to express yourself, okay, and show off your fun, loving personality. It's a way to break away from the traditional, more formal smile and add a bit of stillness to the picture. This can be especially true in group photos where everyone is trying to show off their unique personalities and have a good time. The second one is a nod to what we're talking about, pop culture. Another reason behind this trend could be the influence of pop culture. Celebrities and influencers are often seen sticking out their tongues in photos, which can inspire fans to mimic the behavior. They go back to Miley Cyrus and her infamous tongue out pose that became a signature move for her. Fans may see this as a way to connect with their favorite stars and be a part of the latest trends. Then the third one, it looks like it says societal norms. Lastly, it's possible that sticking out your tongue has become a societal norm for taking pictures. Just like, as they already said, the traditional say cheese. Other people have different versions of that word, or saying something else that's indicative of their family or their circle of friends and loved ones that's different, a variant of it. It says the act of sticking out your tongue has become a cue for people to let loose and be playful. So I just want you to keep in mind throughout this is that they keep saying that it's playful, it's just this, it's just that. And it's a way to capture a moment of fun and spontaneity that a standard smile might not convey. In conclusion, sticking out your tongue for the camera is a way to express your personality, follow pop culture trends, and adhere to societal norms. It's fun. You'll see that they'll keep saying that fun and playful gesture that applies and adds a touch of whimsy, okay, to any photo. So next time you're posing for a picture, don't be afraid to let your tongue out and show off your fun side. So then the article that I'm not going to read after this is they're telling you and giving you pointers or tips on how to perfect the tongue out pose for fun and quirky photos. Fun. And then they tell you different positions to put your tongue in. Bold and straight out, curling upwards and crossing over your lips. I mean, they're really giving you, keep it natural, consider the angle, coordinate with your group, be confident. And I don't think that if you've been listening for a while, I love having fun. I do things all the time that are quirky and indicative of myself. Everybody has their ways. But as we go on, I've kind of been looking at it, like I've said, I look at things and I question now things as I get older, and I wonder what exactly is going on here. And then I saw a picture, okay, and we're going to get to this, of an Indian, okay, I'm just going to say an Indian goddess. They call her a goddess, and she has many, many arms. I think her name is Kali, okay? Her tongue is out, and she has 3 eyes, and she looks very vengeful. We're going to explore who she is and a little background and something else that I came across when I looked her up. So before I get into this goddess Kali and her whole mythology and the folklore behind us, I want to stop first at endtimeprophecy.report.com and a blog that they put up and see what they have to say about it. This was actually done as far back as 2016. Looks like September, by Jeremiah J. Jamison. So let's see what he has to say. It says, he quotes a scripture from James 3:8. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. It says the act of sticking out the tongue is a sign of the times in which we live. This act is seemingly everywhere in our culture, especially in those photos favored by the youth. But even photos of family outings seem to have at least one in the picture who sticks out the tongue. Now I've seen different variations of they stick out the tongue and they put up what is considered the peace sign, okay, 2 fingers. And then of course I've seen numerous with the sticking out of the tongue and the middle finger. I've seen more of the middle finger than the peace 2 fingers up as of late. Okay, that can be possibly well, that pretty much speaks for itself to me, but there probably is more to it than that, other than just you know what it means. Okay, it says, and of course there's the poster child of sticking out the tongue, and they refer to Miley Cyrus. That's what they refer to. I refer to Meg Thee Stallion, but I did notice Miley. So anyway, it says Cyrus is perhaps better known for constant public tongue gymnastics than for anything else that she's ever done. That's kind of something, isn't it? So, what does sticking out the tongue mean? It says, "Don't love me because I'm beautiful. All hail America's newest victim class, the pretty girl." Included in mainly because of the photo heading the article. So I guess there was an article with the person doing this, a young lady doing it, and that's what it said. Don't love me because I'm beautiful. All hail America's newest victim class. That's interesting. The pretty girl. It's like so many other photos. Young people sticking out their tongues. They say off the bat after that, a sign of rebellion among other things. And we live in an age which promotes and magnifies and basically glorifies rebellion. Do as thou wilt, okay? Be your own God. This constantly is being spoken of and unspoken, okay? Let it all hang out, okay? It says, and then of course it goes to what the scripture that we read at the beginning of the episode from Isaiah 57:4. Whom are you mocking? Against whom do you open your mouth wide and stick out your tongue? Are you not children of transgression, the offspring of deceit? It says, does the reader believe sticking out the tongue is an innocent act of self-expression? Well, on the surface, yes. And with many things, that's what it is presented as. Okay, it's just this. It's just that. That's the model. Okay, it's innocent. It's harmless, and it really is at base value what you see. What you see is what you get. It says, then the reader has been deceived. Well, yeah. There is still yet time to change direction, okay, and find out what exactly this is, okay. They said that the time grows even shorter every day, okay. Then it goes into the gospel, okay, and it looks like they are quoting 1 Corinthians chapter 15, 1-8. Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preached unto you, which also ye have received, and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if ye keep in memory that I preached unto you, unless ye have believed in vain. For I delivered unto you first of all that which also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the scriptures, and that he was seen of Cephas, then of the 12. After that he was seen of above 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part remain unto this present, but some are fallen asleep. After that he has seen of James, then of all the apostles, and last of all he was seen of me also, as of one born of due time. And then it has 2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. So, like a lot of the other things that I've put up and put on the podcast, is different gestures, days that we celebrate. Even the calendar itself is built on folklore, mythology, Roman primarily. Even the day that we celebrate as the Sabbath has been changed. So this is just a glimpse into the things that we do, and it being rebranded over and over again. So now we're going to get into this goddess. Now, I've seen images of it. I'm sure everyone has, whether you know a little bit or you know nothing, or I don't really know a lot, or a lot about different mythologies and hierarchies of goddesses. So let's look at Kali. Now, this is from mythologyvault.com. So I'm going to just say right off the cuff is that there are many, many images of her on this particular page. The first one is her in, seem like a cosmic kind of situation. It's actually very beautiful. She does not have her tongue out. She has a crown on her head, but she is holding many, 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 many skulls, and they have occult signatures and sigils and signs, and you know how it goes with the geometric shapes and what they may mean metaphysically. It says deep, okay, within the fascinating world of Hindu mythology, Kali, the dark goddess, they call her the black one, the black goddess, resides. She's depicted with her tongue out. Now, in this particular picture, she does not look like that. And when I've seen her, she's had skin that is a deep blue, or more like a baby blue. Okay, I've seen many figures of goddesses and gods from the Hindu mythology that have blue skin. Okay, so it says she's depicted with her tongue out, adorned with a necklace of skulls. Okay, and covered in blood. It's easy to misinterpret her imagery. So they're saying that by her holding these skulls in her hand or weapons, as I scroll down, her skin is blue but covered, just covered completely in blood, and her tongue is out, and she has a necklace with skulls, okay, on it. Don't misinterpret. She's a puzzle within a conundrum, a symbol of death, that's for sure, destruction and chaos. Yet at the same time, she represents this: life, love, and salvation. As we decode her myths, her symbols, and what she stands for, we find ourselves facing not just the many layers of this particular goddess herself, but also the complex network of cultural and philosophical views that formed her image. So are you prepared to set off on this journey? It's not just about understanding Kali, but about understanding the complexities and the contradictions that form the human experience. Are you geared up to tackle these enigmas, to dive deep into the mysteries of this dark goddess? Now, as we go down, now we see the pictures. We see her tongue is out. She's got a third eye, okay? And then there's a side by side. It actually looks like it's a video. And if I had to guess, it was probably also be on YouTube. And it shows her holding weapons, a severed head, and a bowl to catch the blood. Her tongue is out. She has no top on, and it looks like she is standing over a man. Now his skin is a very ashen blue, okay? It's a paler blue, and it looks like he has only 2 arms, whereas she has in this picture 4. Now in the picture atop of this one, she has let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She has many arms, many arms, which are all holding skulls. They're all holding skulls. And around this particular, I'm gonna guess. Let's find out. When I skimmed this particular caption underneath this one, that is actually a video, they are saying that the man, okay, or the male, let me call it the male, that she has her foot on, okay, and it looks like it's showing some kind of form of triumph, okay, and she's conquered him. He's actually a demon, okay, and she has done battle with him. His name I cannot pronounce, but what his name means is blood seed. Now he's the demon that she has conquered, and they're trying to say that she is an ally, and she fights evil. They say she's also she encapsulates the full spectrum of life, death, and the whole rhythm of being. She's the goddess of time, and she's a stark reminder of how fleeting our earthly lives can be. Okay, so somehow she's connected to us. And by her fighting the forces of evil, okay, in her battle with this male demon whose name means blood seed, it says this demon had a unique power. Every drop of his blood that touched the ground would create another demon, making him almost unbeatable. But Kali, in her divine wisdom, figured out a way to defeat him by sticking out her tongue to stop his blood from hitting the ground. Now, I don't know how sticking out your tongue can stop the blood after you killed him can hit the ground, because maybe in this picture, her having a head and holding a bowl underneath it is catching it, but it looks like the bowl is ready to overflow. So, I don't know. Now the guy on the ground, or the demon, whose name means blood seed, he actually has a live snake around his neck. He looks frightened, and if I had to say, I don't know whose head she's actually holding, because he still has his head. So she has another man or demon's head, and she is an ally to us, is what the feeling I'm getting from this article. Now the article goes on to say that Kali's role in mythology is more than just a destroyer. They said she's also a symbol of creation and preservation, being the partner of the god Shiva, one of the three main gods in Hinduism, responsible for these aspects of being. Her intense depictions, where she's seen wearing a garland of skulls and dancing on Shiva's lifeless body, okay, highlight the endless cycle of life and death. Okay, let's go back. So she is the partner of a god, and they're pantheon of gods and goddesses. Her partner, her husband, is Shiva. But then they say that she's wearing this necklace that she's got of skulls, and she's dancing on his lifeless body. But she is the epitome, okay, of love, salvation. Let's go back. Oh, life, love, and salvation. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much what it says. Now we move down to symbolism behind Kali's fierce form. So in this particular, now this photo is worse than the second one. Now they started with, I don't know if that's the different levels of her, is that they show her standing over this demon's body, holding this severed head. She has many arms. Well, now one she had 4. The one before she had a gazillion. This one is even more, okay? She's actually holding skulls. She's holding weapons. And her tongue is like down to her chest. Her whole demeanor, her whole vibe is murder, death, kill. She is looking like she's engulfed with white flames. Then in this particular artwork of hers, there are many heads of her, and they all seem to have their tongue out like her, except a couple of them. More flames, more skulls, more flames, more tongues, more fire, 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 fire. Okay. Then they say that let's look into the rich symbolism behind this fierce form of Kali, the black goddess known as Kali Ma. She embodies the feminine aspect, okay, which stands for time, death, and destruction. They go into trying to explain why are there so many severed heads. Have you noticed the necklace of decapitated heads she wears, and the sword and severed head she holds? Well, let me look up. It seems like there's a lot of severed heads. It's not just one head. It's a lot of heads. It's a lot of skulls. It's a lot of fire. It's a lot of weapons. It's a lot of tongue. And it says these represent her reign over life and destruction. Okay. They go on to say the extended tongue. So this is what we want to kind of hone in on. Her protruding tongue isn't just for show. I believe it. It stands as a symbol of her relentless desire for battle and her victory over evil. So yet again, they're trying to tell us that she is an ally to fight evil. Not that she is evil, but she's fighting the evil. Now she's cutting people's heads off. She got nothing but skulls, severed heads. But she's fighting the evil demons, and she killed her husband, Shiva, as she danced on his lifeless dead body. Okay. Let's see if it clarifies. Relationship with her husband, Shiva. Ever wonder why Shiva is lying under her feet? Well, they already said he dead, so I'm thinking, It signifies a balance of power and control, and Shiva acting as a calming influence on Kali's ferocity. She killed him. He is pretty calm because he's dead. And it says victory over the demon. Okay. Her win over the demon, who is also male, okay, showcased her ability to put a stop to the spread of evil and chaos. So I wonder why she killed her husband then. If it's the demon and he was evil and she's what she is, okay, every woman, okay, and she signifies all these things. Why did she kill her husband, and why did she dance on his lifeless body? Maybe I have to keep looking and researching, Through these stories and interpretations, Kali isn't seen as a symbol of destruction. No, it doesn't seem like you're necessarily trying to say that, even though it kind of seems like there's some destruction going on here. She's also viewed as a protector. Now, who she's protecting other than herself, I don't really know. And a perfect example, and I kind of saw this is where this is going. Female empowerment. So let's stop here. So when we think about the tongue out in our culture now, okay, and I'm going to focus on not so much the people in the selfies for right now, people taking pictures, because basically it's a trend, okay? And if you get enough influencers and you get enough famous people, celebrities, singers, rappers, actors, the whole nine, it's just going to take off, and people are going to do it because, as they said in one of the other articles or blogs, they want to connect with the people, these famous people, okay? And this is by design, as we already know. Like I said, when I think of the tongue out, right away I think of Meg Thee Stallion, okay? Being unapologetic in her whole stance. Her music is supposed to be, she's supposed to be the poster child or hottie, okay, hot girl coach of female empowerment, okay, taking your sexuality, female empowerment, and all the things of the things, okay. Megan's Law, we're supposed to be doing all these things, okay. So this is what it is rebranded as, okay. So a lot of times, like I've said, in this culture that we live in, when you bring up certain things, people consider to be antiquated, it's fictional, it's this, it's that, and there is some shaming, even though this culture says that they're not shaming you about other things. But when you talk about certain things, they are, okay? And you are basically called crazy or unbalanced. They say don't use that word, but that's basically what they'll do if you talk about the things that they don't want you to talk about. These things are being rebranded, To me, it's very clear. Now, I know there are going to be people that are not going to agree with me, and we'll agree to disagree, and I'm okay with that. Okay, I would like you to listen, but if you have the prerogative not to believe it, and you think that I'm unhinged, then that is your choice to think that. But to me, it puts me in the mind of this. There's certain things that keep playing out, even though it's today, and this is considered to be a mythical person, a creature, goddess. Because when I first looked it up, that's what it says for Wikipedia: mythical entity. That's how it's described. The first two words, mythical entity. But I find it very interesting that the things are there. And we see women like Miley Cyrus. We're seeing, it's so many, I can't even think of all of the female rappers, and others who stick their tongue out. They give you the peace sign, they give you the finger, they do all these other things. But if you look at, like I said, Meg the Stallion, she is supposed to be the epitome, the poster girl of female empowerment. What are the odds that she's doing what this mythological entity is doing? Okay, and when you look at her music, and her music videos, especially, you start to see a shift. Okay, you see the over sexualized, you see that, and that's not uncommon. But then you start to see the darkness take over. Okay, how do I know this? It's that I used to listen to her music. Okay, and I want to say I started to see the darkness with The Sweetest Pie. Okay, it was a video that I watched, and I saw the dancing demons, and then I was like, okay, wait. You're looking at something, and you're like, okay, because you're listening to the music, okay, the beat, and you're liking it. I love music. If it's a little raunch, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. But then I started to watch the video, and I was like, whoa, Meg, what's going on here? It was a lot of symbolism, a lot of occultism, and that's what made me stop in my tracks. Okay, like, wait a minute here. What am I looking at? And it just seemed like after that point, for me, I start to just like, okay, I can't do this. And then it seemed like what I didn't look at anymore was this whole snake thing. Okay, you're in a bathtub full of I don't know what, looks like blood or something, and then you start seeing the other people that whether they're male or female doing this whole bathtub thing full of I don't know what, which other people who are more knowledgeable than me they're saying that this is in fact occultism. Okay, this is occultism, and it's playing out as just something that's, which I don't know about bathing in a bathtub. A bathtub full of blood is innocent. Seems not innocent, but it's just this, and this is how it's presented to the masses. It's just this, okay? Her and an egg, and you see all this snake and serpents, and it's like, okay, I'm done. The hot girl coach. Y'all, you didn't went too far. Then you got Doja Cat, you got all this. I've talked about this, and you're like, okay, now you just killed it for me. It's not innocent. These things are not innocent. And then I started to think that it was just, it could just be me, my age, or whatever. And then I started to see younger people going to concerts and festivals where they had certain, people performing, okay, and then they started like I said, everyone has like these phones actually super glued to their hand, because that's we're living in those times. And they start filming things, some very odd things, people falling to the ground and look like they're having seizures during these actual songs in these concerts, their eyes rolling back. I've seen many people have seizures. Okay, this looks on the surface like it's a seizure, but it's not a seizure. Okay, it is like something is inside of them. Okay, something inside of them, and they're reacting. They're moving weird, their body. This is really You're seeing people say that they can't remember things when they go to these concerts that they paid a lot of money for, and they cannot remember what happened at the concert. And people are trying to tell you that it's excitement. You're overly excited. That's why you can't remember. Well, for me, okay, I haven't been to a concert in a while. And from what I'm seeing, I don't really want to go, to be honest. But that's just me. Okay. But when something's exciting, I remember everything. I have a bad memory. I've always had one. I don't know why. But when something's exciting or something that's close to my heart, I remember every single detail. I don't lose my memory completely. All I can remember is that I went and that I left. That's something wrong there. Okay? Something severely, really wrong. And you can get as many doctors and experts to verify it. There is something wrong. And what is it that happened that they don't want you to remember? I find it very, very bizarre. That's not normal. And they had people talking about how normal that is. And there's a particular personality, a particular singer. I'm not going to say her name. I'm not really into her music. I know a lot of people that may be into it. People are a little bit younger than me. And they gave her name and said that this is specifically for her, this type of forgetting. But I don't want to take my hard-earned money and pay thousands of dollars to see her or somebody like her and not remember anything remotely of what happened. For that, I can keep my money. I'm not paying thousands of dollars to see you and I can't remember a thing that happened. To me, that's a red flag, red flag, red flag. Something is happening to the people when they go, okay? I've seen videos of young people. I cannot remember who the artist was, and the young lady was walking away. She was recording herself walking away fast, and in the background you could hear the music, but you could actually hear people screaming. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know, was the person performing screaming? Was it people that were having these episodes screaming, like blood curdling? And the young lady was walking fast, almost running. She said, something's not right, something's not right. When are people going to actually wake up? You were just listening to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode.